All right, guys. Well, with that, I am excited to be here with you this evening to share this information with you. Before we get started, I want to give you just a little bit of my personal background just so that we know each other a little bit better. I've been married for 18 years. I have 6 children, big family, love entrepreneurship. Summer and I have been entrepreneurs our entire adult lives. We've owned a number of traditional businesses, everything from health clubs and tanning salons to lead generation. The interesting thing for me in my experience with business ownership was the more my businesses started to grow, it seemed like the more responsibility that I took on, the more stress that I took on, the more overhead that I took on. And the reality is I didn't have the time freedom to be able to do the things that I wanted to do rather than the things that I had to do. In 2005, I was introduced to this network marketing industry. And I have to tell you guys that I had a lot of preconceived notions about what I thought network marketing was. I had no interest in getting involved in one of those things, right? One of those pyramids is what I thought it was. But, I started to see a lot of people having success in this industry. And I also started to see that they had this incredible residual income lifestyle. And I've also started to realize, or I realized that the height of all stupidity is forming an opinion without knowing all the facts. If you agree with me, drop an I in the chat box, drop an I over there on Facebook as well. And so I finally decided to sit down and take a look at this opportunity. And what I found was not at all what I perceived. What I found was a great way to start building another income producing asset. I'm a big believer in multiple streams of income. Anybody have any idea how many sources of income that the average millionaire has? Any guesses out there? The average millionaire has 7 sources of income. So for me, what I found was a great way to start building another income producing asset in my part-time. And what I saw was how with a part-time effort over a period of a couple of years, that would turn into a full-time income and give me back the most valuable commodity that I had, which was my time, right? And that's exactly what I was looking for. So we got started in 2005. The first couple of years, we were building it in the nooks and crannies of our life like most people do. We were building in our part-time or spare time. But after about a year in this industry, I started to see the power of this profession. And let me explain. What I saw was, I was still going to work, doing exactly what I normally would do. I was running my business. But, what I found was that if I started paying attention to other people, as I started to become more acutely aware of the conversations around me, what I found was that most people were dissatisfied with their circumstances. They were going to a job that maybe they disliked, or perhaps they weren't being paid what they felt that they were worth. They were living paycheck to paycheck with maxed out credit cards and broken dreams. Every Sunday was the exact same thing, same conversation. Around noon, 1 o'clock, that anxiety starts to set in, and they started to think about, oh my gosh, I can't believe the weekend's over and I got to go back to work tomorrow, right? Anybody relate to that? Give me an I, or raise your hand if you can relate to that. There's a reason why heart attacks go way up on Monday morning. So what I found was I could go about my day doing what I normally would do anyways. But all I would do whenever I would come across someone that was in those circumstances is I would just say, well, listen, maybe I can help. And I'd invite them to take a look at what it is that we were doing. I'd tell them, listen, Summer and I have recently gotten started in this little part-time business, and I can see how over a period of the next 1 to 2 years with a part-time effort that this can turn into a full-time income. Maybe a good fit for you, may not, but I'd love to give you some more information. There's a big difference between serving versus selling. And I never wanted to call my friends up and try to sell them products. I never wanted to call my friends up and try to convince them to join a business. There's a big difference between helping people go from where they are to where it is that they want to go, rather than trying to force some products down somebody's throat. And so that was the approach that we took. And in that first year, we started to attract like-minded individuals to our business, people that dream bigger, think bigger. They wanted more out of life. And, although we probably only attracted maybe 30, 40 people that first year, the people that were in our team were doing the exact same thing, right? They were going out and they were sharing the opportunity in their part-time spare time. And by the end of that first year, we ended up with several hundred people in our organization. We weren't, making a huge income, but we were making a few $1,000s a month at that point. And I remember distinctly looking at our organization and seeing those hundreds of people and realizing that they were all doing the exact same thing that we were, where they were going to work part-time to pay their bills. In their full-time, they were going to work full-time to pay their bills, but in their part-time or spare time, they were working on building their fortune. But when you added up all of those hours, it created a tremendous amount of leverage that was going towards building our business. And that's when I started to understand the true potential of this industry. And so over the course of the next year, we started paying a little more attention to it. Our income doubled again that second year. But here's what happened. The mortgage industry collapsed. And the company that we owned a lead generation company that produced leads in the mortgage industry. So Summer and I, we lost everything. It was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. We lost our business, of course. We eventually lost our home. We had cars repossessed. At one point, we were literally hiding vehicles in our neighbor's garage because we didn't want them to know, excuse me, that we didn't want them to know where our car was. It was a difficult situation, but I share this story for a reason. And I want some of you, there's somebody on this presentation right now that needs to hear this. Sometimes we go through those challenges in life to push us down a different path to exactly where we're supposed to be and who we're meant to be. Does that make sense? Are you guys feeling me? Anybody else had that experience before? When you're going through those challenges at the time, I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, it's like you can't see the forest through the trees. Our electric was getting shut off one moment and I'd get that turned back on and my gas was getting shut off. And I mean, it was one of those challenging years. But because of that, ultimately, Summer and I made the decision that we were going to go full-time in the network marketing industry, right? We had this little side business that we had started a few years prior, and we said, you know what, we're going to go all in. And so we made that decision, and over the next year, it took about 14 months, but we were able to replace the income that we had prior with our traditional business. But now, my quality of life totally changed. Because now I was working from home. I was walking my kids to the bus stop in the morning. I was home when they got home from school. I was, one of the only dads at every school function. And we've been full-time in this industry now for the last 10 years. And what I can tell you is that this industry has given me back that time, right? The most valuable commodity. It's given me back my time. We own our own lifestyle. We do the things that we want to do rather than the things that we have to do. My daughter, who's 12 years old, Tuscany, came to me not too long ago and she said, Dad, I was at a friend's house the other day and I forget sometimes that parents have to go to work. They're just used to mom and dad being at home every morning. We take them to school in the morning. Sometimes we go pick them up at school at lunch and, we take them out to lunch. We've just had that quality of life. We've used this business as a platform to teach our children about entrepreneurship and leadership, free enterprise, capitalism, things that are just not taught in school today. Our children have traveled the world with us, and we're truly blessed because of this industry. And I always teach people that this industry is not about the money, right? I mean, everybody is here because they would love to be able to create an extra income, and there's nothing wrong with that. But here's what I'll tell you is it's more about who you become in the process and who you help along the way. The money is a byproduct of those two things. And so we've been very blessed to be able to help tens of thousands of entrepreneurs now around the world get started on a path towards entrepreneurship and declaring their financial freedom day. Your financial freedom day is the day that you no longer have to trade time for dollars. You can do the things that you want to do rather than the things that you have to do. And that's really what I want to talk to everybody about tonight. I want to talk to you about an opportunity that truly has changed my family's life. It's an opportunity that we really were not expecting at all this year. It was something that we weren't looking for, but I can tell you that it's something that we're truly grateful that our friend Mike Sims, who's a presidential millionaire with this company, shared with us. And so with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to introduce you all to World Global Network. Now, before we get started, we always start with an income disclosure. I love that our company does this because at the end of the day, the sky is the limit when it comes to earning potentials, but there's no guarantees here. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that.
To see our full income disclosure,
explain that.
Please visit our website at www.worldgn.com.
All right, so you caught the end of it, but there you go. So you can read it. You can go to worldgn.com for a full income disclosure. Bottom line is network marketing is one of those beautiful industries that you get paid based on the value that you bring to the table. There's nobody that's there that's telling you, how much you are worth, or when you have to be at work, or when you get to take a break at lunch, or when you get to take that 2-week vacation, or when you are due for a salary or an increase in salary. You make that determination, and that's what I love. Now, whenever I look at opportunities, what I'm looking for are trends. Bill Gates said it best. He says, the secret of success in business is detecting where the world will go and getting there first. And one of the things that we know is where the world is going right now, especially in the technology industry. I want to introduce you to the wearable technology space for a moment. If you look at the growth pattern that this industry is on, just 2013, $8 million a year industry. Forbes magazine now projects this industry will be worth $34 billion by the year 2020. That's the next 3 years. So we're seeing staggering growth in this industry. Just last year alone, 123 million people were purchasing wearable devices, fitness activity, and sports trackers. And now, over the course of the next couple of years, this industry is projected to be worth over 411 million people will be purchasing wearable devices on their wrist. Time Magazine recently said that it's the end of the smartphone era and the beginning of the wearable device industry. So we know where the trends are going, and we happen to have the #1 product story in that space. I want to introduce you to World Global Network. So first of all, who are we? We are a 5-year-old company. We're a publicly traded company. We launched the World Global Media Group in January of 2016, and that really kicked off an entire new direction for the company, and you'll be hearing about that tonight. The company vision is to be the largest network marketing technology-based company in the entire world. We're currently open in 195 countries with 15 offices worldwide. In 2015 and 2016, we did over $250 million in sales. We have AAA rating on the DSA. Last year, we were ranked number 77 worldwide amongst thousands of direct sales companies. Last year, we had the top 5 most attended website in the world in network marketing. And of course, we've recently been featured on Fox News, CBS, and even most recently, the Today Show with Carson Daly. We were also voted as the #1 product in the network marketing industry by Business for Home just about a month ago. So there's a lot going on with the company. And then finally, we are partnered with Toshiba, which gives us a huge technology advantage. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. Now, first of all, whenever I evaluate a company, I always start with the person that's running the company. I join people first and companies second. And so the first thing that I did is I started looking into our CEO's background, his track record for success, right? The best predictor of future performance is past performance. And if you look at Mr. Galdi's track record for success, in the 90s, he founded one of the largest internet providers in all of Europe. He then went on and started a giant company called Mecatech that went public, introduced one of the first touchscreen LCD computers to the market. In 2005, he developed one of the first successful voice over IP platforms, and now he is innovating again. He's introduced a product called the Hilo that literally is disrupting the technology, the wellness, and the network marketing industries at the exact same time. This is a product that, a lot of people get it confused with a Fitbit or an Apple Watch because you wear it on your wrist. But this is an entirely new product category. This is a device that allows you to be able to accurately monitor your heart rate, your blood pressure. It will allow you to be able to do an EKG, of course, mood and energy. It has a panic feature on it that if for any reason you're in danger, you can push the little SOS button and it will notify your parents or guardian that you are in trouble. And it will also send them your exact GPS coordinates. We tested this with my son a couple of months ago. He was driving down the freeway. He pushed that button and I could see exactly where he was on the freeway. So I feel good about that. I want my spouse wearing this device. I want, I have teenagers that go out now and they drive and all of these crazy things that parents just, don't look forward to, right? That scare the heck out of you as a parent. And so for me, I feel good about that. It also allows you to be able to remotely monitor people that you love and care about most. I can look at my phone right now and I can tell you what my grandmother's blood pressure, her heart rate, and her breath rate is in Las Vegas. And I literally live here in Phoenix, Arizona. So this is a device that literally, the best analogy that I can give you is if you go back about 10 years ago to when Steve Jobs, we all remember that epic picture of Steve Jobs holding up the iPhone. We had no idea 10 years ago how an iPhone or the smartphone would completely change the way that we communicate, completely change the way that we do business, change the world. And I believe that World Global Network is doing the exact same thing with the Hilo. And then, of course, if that's not enough, we've recently just opened or launched our App Store. To put this into perspective, we're the world's first wearable device in the mobile health category that now has an App Store. So what does that mean? Think about, again, Apple about 8 or 9 years ago when they introduced their App Store. They had a couple hundred apps in their store. Today, they have over 1.2 million. What did that do? It actually allows you and I to be able to pick up our phone and customize our phone to be able to do whatever we want it to do. And so we've done the exact same thing, right? We've invited outside app developers to come and monetize our platform. And as a result of that, we've literally had hundreds of app developers that have already submitted their plans, and there's all kinds of incredible apps that are coming. Of course, I've got to touch base for a moment just on some of the most popular. So first of all, we have the blood glucose, right? Blood glucose is something that everyone is talking about. So I want you to think about this for a moment. 1 in 10 people in the world today are diabetic. They're still pricking their finger 3 or 4 times a day to test their blood sugar. There is no device in the world that allows you to be able to detect blood sugar without getting a drop of blood. We now have the world's first transdermal device. That means literally a device that you can wear on your wrist and be able to look at your phone, look at an app, and it will accurately tell you exactly what your blood sugar is. Think about that for a moment. Think about the impact that that's going to have on people's lives, especially diabetics. I read the other day that there's 100 million people in the United States that are borderline diabetic. Think about being able for a moment to just look at your phone after you've eaten something or you've had a drink of something and just seeing what's happening to your blood sugar levels. Think about the changes that people will make as a result of that. Blood alcohol levels is another one that's coming. Blood alcohol, think about being able to have a couple of cocktails and look at your phone and know real time exactly what your blood alcohol levels are. Blood oxygen levels, flu prediction, ovulation prediction, mosquito repellent. These are all just a few of the apps that are coming. And before I move on, I must say that we also have the patent on the blood glucose as well as the exclusivity on the blood alcohol. So, we really have locked this technology down, and the response has just been completely overwhelming. There's also some health benefits to wearing the Hilo as well. On the inside of the band, we have what's called germanium stones. And germanium is a natural antioxidant. It balances your ions. It increases blood circulation. It's fantastic for aches and pains. And we've had a fantastic response from people that are wearing these. Of course, we have the multicolored bands. So if you'd like to accessorize, you can wear the purple or the pink or the blue, depending on whatever you're wearing that day or whatever you're feeling. Of course, we've talked about the upcoming the upcoming apps that are getting ready to be introduced, fitness tracking apps, GPS tracking apps. There's so many different things that are coming, and that's what allows us to be able to stay on the cutting edge. And not only that, but think about this for a moment. Think about if Apple approached you 10 years ago and said, listen, we're going to give you an opportunity to be able to earn a percentage off of every single app that's purchased from this point forward in your organization. Would you have taken that opportunity? Of course you would. And so World Global has done that exact same thing for our distributors. The next thing that I looked at is the market comparison. I wanted to know really how this product measured up to everything that was out there on the marketplace. What I found is we haven't just elevated the game. We've totally... There's nobody else. You won't be able to get off this presentation and say, Travis, I've heard of other people that are doing things like this, because we're literally the only game in town. If you look at the Samsung Gear or the Apple Watch or the Fitbit, they're great devices, but they're limited in nature. And it's now time for that next generation, if you will, of wearable devices. And if you look at the price points, we're extremely competitively priced in the marketplace as well. So there's truly no competition. We've had people that are on our team that have received their devices, no kidding, put them on, they looked at their blood pressure, and it was reading extremely high. So then they did an EKG. You can actually do an EKG on this device, and it came back abnormal. And so from that point, they thought, you know what, this can't be accurate. And so from that point forward, what they did is they put it back in the box. They were going to ship it back to the company. They didn't think that it was accurate. A couple of days later, the spouse came along, saw the device sitting in a package on the table, decided to try it on, and it worked for her. It was fine. And so now he's thinking, well, listen, I go to the doctor every August. I get a checkup. So this can't be right. So they go down to the CVS. He puts his arm in one of those cuffs, and he realizes that he's got extremely high blood pressure. Goes to the doctor, and within a couple of days, he's in open heart surgery with 2 blocked arteries. That's the power of the Hilo. The best analogy that I can give you is if you're driving down the road in your vehicle and the check engine light comes on, you know to go get it checked out before it's too late. Doesn't it just make sense to you guys that there is a device that's monitoring your most important bioparameters, and if for any reason something were to go wrong, the check engine light comes on? Like, that just makes sense to me. And of course, it makes sense to everyone else too. Fox News and at the Today Show with Carson Daly, I mean, our product, we haven't even opened our doors yet, you guys. I mean, our official grand opening is next month. And this product has been so well received. In fact, it was introduced in January at the Consumer Electronics Show, which is the largest electronics show in the world. And Toshiba was the one to introduce it. This was a big deal. And this was the talk of the entire show. And the reason why they introduced it is because we have just formed a partnership with Toshiba. So back in June of last year, when we introduced our first model, the classic model, Toshiba came to us and said, listen, we want to buy this technology. They knew right away how big this was going to be. Mr. Galdi said it's not for sale. So at that point, that kicked off a 90-day evaluation process where they looked at the accuracy, the efficacy, the legitimacy of this product, all before coming back and saying, listen, we want to partner with you. So for those of you that are saying, well, how accurate could this thing be? Well, think about this. Some of the top engineers in the world at Toshiba did their homework before we created the strategic partnership. And this was a historic partnership because the network marketing industry has never seen a company of this magnitude. We're talking about a 100-year-old, $50 billion company that's coming into this space. And I share that for one reason, because it gives us huge credibility. We are attracting people here that, I say this respectfully, that just are not interested in your traditional lotions and potions and pills companies. We're attracting doctors, CEOs of hospitals and large corporations. Why? Because this is a technology play, and technology runs and rules the world. To give you an idea of the impact that we have had on this market since we've essentially just soft launched this company, we now own over 5% of all of the sales in the entire world for wearable devices. And guys, we haven't even opened our doors yet. Our grand opening is next month, October, in Las Vegas. We own 5.3% of the market share. To give you an idea of where we're going, our goal is to sell 12 million devices over the next 2 years. That will put us at $3 billion with a $10 billion market cap. For us to accomplish that goal, we only need to own 1.5% of the market share, just 1.5%. As we already own 5% of the market share, you do the math. So when you have a product like this that evokes a positive emotional experience to the point where when people are just watching a 2-minute video and immediately they're saying, man, my mom needs that, my dad needs that, I want my kids wearing that, there is a special type of situations, a special type of circumstances. I always say the windows of opportunity in this industry, they don't open very often, they don't stay open very long, but when they're open, incredible things can happen. And as a result of that, we're seeing this massive growth in the company right now. And that's not our only product. We have another product that we recently introduced called BioZen that's simply amazing. I'm just going to tell every one of you right now, I know we've got a large group of you here on our Zoom tonight. We've got a large group over on Facebook this evening. I'm going to tell every one of you, regardless of whether or not you get involved with our company, you need to take a very close look at BioZen. What it does, so it has now been proven that every electrical device, I'm talking about your smartphones, tablets, your iPads, your iPods, your routers in your home, they all emit what's called electrosmog, or electronic magnetic frequencies that are damaging to our DNA. The World Health Organization has even gone as far as to say that EMFs are now directly linked to cancer. And so what this does is it reverses the damaging effects that come from those EMFs. And so I feel really good about the fact that we have these on the back of all of our devices. It's just a little green sticker. And what it does is it protects against those EMFs. I have children now that teenagers, I've got 5 children or 5 people in my family that have phones. 3 of them are teenagers. Teenagers spend on average anywhere from 7 to 9 hours a day on their phone. And then, of course, you have the younger ones that love to be on their iPads and playing their educational games. And so I feel very good about having these little green stickers on the back of those devices. We also have a brand new phone that's getting ready to come out. It has the same exact technology, that BioZen technology, inside the phone. So it's the world's first smartphone that does not emit EMFs. Think about that for a moment. And of course, it's a beautiful phone. It has all of the bells and whistles, top of the line camera, bezel-less. It's a beautiful phone. And so this is getting ready to come out. You'll be able to use this on any of your carriers. So that's another product that we're getting ready to introduce. For me, whenever I'm looking at opportunities, I always want to see indicators that the company has been well received, that, there's a lot of excitement or momentum going on. There's nothing worse than being the company is just stagnant. There's nothing going on, and it's up to you to create the momentum in the company. I love being a part of a company that's on the move. And right now, as we are the talk of the town, I mean, we literally are, one of the top momentum companies in the world, AAA rating by Business for Home, voted as an ambassador in 2016, #1 product, voted as one of the top 100 most solid network marketing companies. And there's no bigger indicator than what's happening with the stock. I mean, we launched our stock at 26 cents a share, just a January of 2016, and you can see where the stock is going. I mean, just a couple of days ago, it's trading at over $23 per share. So you don't see that kind of growth unless there is something special that's happening. Another thing that I loved about this company is that we are open in 195 countries. Warren Buffett said that if you can't figure out how to make money when you sleep, then you'll work until the day that you die. I have never been a part of a company that has this type of landscape before. I've always been a part of companies where people are coming and asking, are we open here? No. Are we open here? No. And with social media, it's such a smaller world today, right? It used to be the 7 degrees of separation. Now it's the 3 degrees of separation. And again, when you have a business that's being built by just a 2-minute video and there's nothing to slow it down, there's no, hey, let me send you some samples. Let me see if you like the taste. Try them for a few weeks and let me know what you think. Come to my home on a Wednesday night for a party. There's none of that. It's just a 2-minute video. Plug those that want more information into an overview. So as a result of that, it's the speed of this particular business model, I call it velocity marketing. It's where you have a product that goes from no one knowing about it to everyone knowing about it in a very short period of time. And there's just no comparison. There's nothing else out there in the network marketing space that I could even compare this to. And so this, we launched here on February 13th. And our business has now grown into 20 different countries. And guys, we're just getting started. And so now when I go to bed at night, I have people that are sharing this opportunity. They're just waking up, putting their helos on, and they're sharing this opportunity in other parts of the world. One of the things that I looked at also is, are there people making money? And look, I'm a professional in this industry. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not one to ever say, look, our comp plan's better than your comp plan. Bottom line is if you work, you go to work, the compensation plan works. But I have to just say this. People are winning here at a level that I've never seen before. I mean, I've watched people go from one company to the next, and they just haven't had success. And all of a sudden they come over here and they're knocking it out of the park. And not only that, but if you look at what's happening with the top earners in the industry, right? If you look, there's a top 200 list. These are the top 200 earners in the world of network marketing. And if you look at that list, we have more people on that list than any other company in network marketing. We have 10% of the top 100 earners currently in our company. Our top earners right here, Chanita and Nat, who are our master distributors, they're earning over $1.2 million per month. Chad and Natita Chong, millennials, right? They're in their younger 30s and earning over $750,000 per month, and they've been here just about a year. My personal sponsor, Mike Sims, well over $100,000 per month. Guys, the stories keep going on and on and on. I was blessed to hear a story of a young woman who just turned 18 years old in Thailand. She's a student. And of course, in Thailand, the income is much different than it is here in the United States. And she just hit a rank of presidential millionaire, which means, a qualified presidential millionaire, the minimum that a presidential millionaire earns in that week is $50,000. She's 18 years old. So again, people are winning here. Why? Because it's technology and people are excited about this story. What I see here is a convergence of forces coming together that's unlike anything that I've seen in my 12 years in the network marketing space. You've got, first of all, a product that is a complete blue ocean. One of my favorite books is Blue Ocean Strategy. In this book, they talk about 2 different environments. A red ocean, which is a fiercely competitive market. Everybody is fighting over the same market share. It's a very cutthroat environment. It creates bloody, murky waters, or otherwise known as a red ocean, right? And then you have a blue ocean, which is there is no competition because you've completely changed the game. And that's exactly what World Global has done. There is no competition. So we're not fighting over here for, everybody has the best weight loss product in the world. Everybody has the best skincare in the world. Everybody has the best vitamins in the world. And I'm not saying there's not great products out there. But listen, if you're going to be in business, doesn't it make sense to be in business in a space where there's no competition? And that's one of the key reasons why Summer and I are here. And not only that, but when you look at the trends, right? Do you want to be behind the trends or in front of the trends? right? Do you want to be the 500th company talking about weight loss and protein powder, or do you want to be the first company talking about technology? So we're positioned in front of the trends. The timing doesn't get any better. Look, in every business, there's a first and a last. There's a top and a bottom. Where would you rather be? I mean, it's common sense, right? We are opening our doors next month. That means in North America right now, if you choose to get started with us, you're a founding member. You are a pioneer, and I can promise you it's the pioneers that they write about in the history books. We have an amazing team. I mean, I'm talking about, combined earnings of close to $100 million just on our team, the Diamond Network, the leaders that have put this system together, these trainings together, these calls that we do every day together so that you can plug into a turnkey system. So again, I mean, I could go on and on, but the bottom line is that you have a rare situation coming together here, and I personally believe that you won't see something like this again for quite some time. My mentor and my friend Mike Sims says it best when he says, listen, don't pray for financial change, right? Don't pray for financial solutions. Pray to recognize an opportunity when it presents itself. Now, I want to talk to you about what's in it for you, because there are some exciting opportunities here for those of you that want to be a part of this vision and be a part of where we're going. So there's really 3 key steps to getting involved with World Global Network. The first step is just to decide how you fit into the equation. We have people that just see themselves as customers and they just want to use the product. Cool. We love customers. We have people that come in and they want to be a customer, but they maybe want to be a referral partner as well. They don't mind wearing the product, and if somebody asks them about it, they just refer them to the company, and they get a nice referral fee, a 10% referral fee just for sending somebody to the company. My cable company has referral fees. My dentist gives referral fees. So you can fit into the equation that way. And then, of course, we have those that see themselves wanting to get involved in the business side of things as well. So for those that are interested in really becoming a team builder with us, there's a few different options. The first step is you just choose or place your product order. And the only difference between your product order is the amount of product that you purchase. We have a personal bundle. It's $349. It gives you a halo. It gives you a multicolored band pack. You also get the germanium stone set for free. So you're saving $180. We have our family bundle, which gives you 4 of everything. So now you're getting 4 halos, 4 of the multicolored band packs. You're getting 4 of the germanium stone sets for free and 4 of the bios and technology for free. So you're getting about $1,000 of product. And most people typically have a spouse, children, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa in mind when they purchase this product. So you can either go give it to them, put them on their wrist, or sell each one of those individually and recoup some of your investment. And then, of course, we have our premium bundle. And the premium bundle gives you 6 of everything. A lot of people ask us all the time, Travis, how are you and Summer able to achieve the rank of presidential millionaire and achieve that in 6 months? Grand president. I'm not a presidential millionaire yet, but I'm working on it. Grand president. So grand president in 6 months. Grand president, the minimum that a qualified grand president earns is $30,000 per week in income. $30,000. Think about that for a moment. And the answer to that question is we treat this like a business. I don't treat this like a hobby. I don't treat this like just some little thing that I dabble with. I look at a lot of different business opportunities that come my way. And let's say that I was looking at investing in a McDonald's franchise, and that the cost to get started was $1.5 million. Well, a McDonald's franchisee owner generates approximately $50,000 a month in net revenue. So that's after all of their expenses. That's what they can expect to bring home. Well, I look at this and say, well, first of all, to become a McDonald's franchisee owner, I have to put up $1.5 million, take on a tremendous amount of risk. I've got to go hire all kinds of employees, deal with the overhead, the stress. I've got to come home smelling like hamburgers every day. Or I can invest $2,000 in a business and not have to deal with any of that. And the upside is even far greater than that of a McDonald's franchise. So that's how I look at this. And so when we came in, I've never met anybody that started with a minimum and they go to the top of the compensation plan. It just doesn't happen. It's all about a mentality. I wanted my mentors to know that I was serious. I wanted their time. I wanted their mentorship. And I needed the product, right? I mean, when I sign people up, I don't want them to have to wait for the product to arrive in the mail. I give them one of my Halo box sets. And then when their product arrives a few weeks later, they give me one back. Why? Because I want it on their wrist immediately. Number 2 is look, one of the best ways to grow your business is just let people try your product. If somebody comes to my house, I ask them, have you heard of the Halo? They always say no. And I say, cool, let me show you a 2-minute video. And then I ask them, would you be willing to wear this for a week? and just give me your feedback. They always say yes. And then here's what happens every single time. They come back a couple of days later and they say, man, I love being able to monitor my blood pressure. I had no idea I'm a little bit high. Or, man, I love being able to do an EKG on myself every day. And then a couple more days goes by and they always come back, never fail. And they say, man, somebody at work, they saw this and they want to know a little bit more about it. Or, hey, my mom and dad are interested in one of these now. How do I get them that information? And I just look at them and say, listen, we need to talk, because that's all Summer and I are doing. Like, that's it. And we have been able to create an income stream here on a monthly basis that people would get excited about on a yearly basis. And all I'm doing is I'm wearing it and sharing it. You guys, I went on my first road trip last week. I was in Louisville, Kentucky, Knoxville, Kentucky, Atlanta. Big shout out to all those groups. I realized when I was in Louisville, that was the first meeting I've done in 7 months. Like, the first meeting. That's unfathomable in the network marketing industry. Why? Because this is technology, and we have found a new way to build this business. And I can tell you that it is. I love it. I mean, I told Mike that if my feet had to touch someone's living room carpet, then I am out when I looked at this opportunity. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to help you to go find 2 people. Guys, I mean, how many of you, just by the show of hands, know somebody that's going to go to bed tonight saying a prayer asking for financial solutions? I'm guessing that just about everyone on this presentation, the hands are starting to pop up right now. I'm sure over on Facebook, might ask you the same question. How many of you know someone that's going to go to bed tonight saying a prayer asking for financial solutions? How many of you know someone that would benefit from this device? Say I in the chat box, and say I over on Facebook. If you have someone that you care about, whether they're a diabetic or maybe somebody that's getting a little bit older in their life, that you want wearing this device. See, it's not hard to go find those 2 people, and we're going to teach you a turnkey system. We're actually going to give you scripts, and you don't even have to pick up the phone, guys. We've got it down to texting. You're just texting. Getting people in front of a 2-minute video. For those that want more information, you plug them in here, and you let someone like myself explain the overview. So you don't have to sell. You don't have to present. All you're doing is sending a text message. Like, if you got thumbs that work, you can be successful here. So that's step number 2. And finally, step number 3 is we're going to teach those two people how to do the same exact thing. Once we've done that, you're now qualified for all aspects of this compensation plan. And I can tell you, there's a lot of different ways that you can get paid. The first way, of course, you get paid is just that 10% referral fee. All you do is literally, when you join the company, you're eligible to start earning 10%. Everyone is eligible. Once we go and get those 2 that we were talking about, you're now qualified to earn 20% of your team commissions through infinity, you guys. There's no levels. We're talking about through infinity. I have people that are hundreds of levels down that are coming in, and we're getting paid on the volume that they create in their organizations, 20% of that volume. And then finally, once you become a team developer, you get access to all of these different bonuses. Probably my favorite is the check matching. The check matching, the way that it works is everyone that you personally sponsor, they get a check every week, right, for their team commission. Summer and I have sponsored 113 people into the business. So every week they get a check. Whatever that check amount is, we get 10% of that check matched to us just because we sponsored them, right? We have a vested interest in their success. But it doesn't stop there. So you can see as you start to progress in the plan and you go from silver to gold and platinum and diamond and so forth, you start to pick up additional generations. My wife and I are grand presidents in the plan, so we get paid down through 6 generations of bonuses. So think about this. If we have, just on our first generation, if we have 113 people, we have over 300 on our second generation. You can do the math and figure out how many are on the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th. And we're getting 5 to 10% of every single one of their paychecks every single week. The best part about this is the residual. Because, and by the way, this does not apply to customers. This only applies to business builders. So for those of you that are looking to go and build a business here, we have what's called a loyalty membership. And I love this because, first of all, it's only $59. It can come right off the top of your commission, so you don't even have to have it hit your checking account or your credit card. What it does is we're going to give you a website and a back office to manage your business around the world, access to a customer support team. You're getting plugged into a turnkey system with mentorship from some of the top mentors in the world of network marketing. That alone is priceless. Not only that, but it allows you to monitor up to 5 people that you love and care about on one account. So not $59 per device, but that's 5 people. You get a protection plan for your Helo and soon the Infolio if something were to happen to them. And get this, the company gives you $75. They call them loyalty points because points are universal to use to buy new products. So as I'm as a loyalty member, let's say that World Global comes out with another product, which, hey, look at Apple. Every single October, they come out with a brand new product, and 70% of the customer base runs down to get that new product. Why? Because they want the new technology. We understand that. And guys, let me just tell you something. You have not seen anything yet. Like, you have no idea where this company is going and what is going to be introduced in the very near future. I'm just telling you, if you were to get involved now and position yourself prior to some of the things that are coming, you just have no idea the possibilities that are there for you. And so, of course, we get $75 a month that we can use to just credit to buy whatever products that we want. In addition to that, we also get an additional 1% on all of our team volume by being a loyalty member. So every single, my wife and I started in February. We have over $6,000 in our money box. They call it a money box. And as long as we are on that loyalty membership for a year, we get all of that money back as just a bonus that's given to us. And then finally, of course, all of the people that you're in your organization. Let's start with the people you personally sponsored. So everyone that we personally sponsor, we get $6 every single month whenever they make their loyalty membership. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's over $600 just coming in from the people that we've personally sponsored. But get this. Everyone that they sponsor and everyone that they sponsor through infinity. My wife and I have thousands of people on our team. We didn't bring them in. It's just people sharing a 2-minute video. We get $6 every single time somebody places a loyalty payment every single month. And guys, for those of you that are in the industry, I want you to really grasp onto what I'm sharing with you. The Direct Sales Association came out not too long ago and said that the average attrition in network marketing and consumable network marketing is 72%. 72%. So what does that mean? It means out of 100 people in your downline, 72% of them are going to turn their auto shipment off that year, which means you've got to always be burning and churning. And if you're not growing at 200, 300, 400%, it's very difficult to get ahead. And if you let your foot off of the gas, what happens to your check? Is we're operating at a 78% retention rate. Why? Because when you get those 5 helos and you put them on the people that you love and care about most, and it's monitoring their most important life vitals. And by the way, we have a plan that shows you how to get that covered and paid for within your first month, and it comes right off of the top of your commissions. You're never going to turn it off. So what that does is it gives you true long-term residual. And that's what excites me the most here. Guys, we've got all kinds of fun promotions. I was at a president's experience not too long ago where I watched some of my friends and mentors get presented with their favorite dream cars. The owner of this company is the most generous owner I've ever worked with. He loves to make people's dreams come true. So literally, Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, Porsches, he's giving these things to these top distributors because he cares about them and he wants them to be successful. He just introduced a new program where if you hit Presidential Millionaire one time, just one time, you get access to a jet. And that jet for 12 months with 24 hours notice, you can fire up the jet. You can go anywhere you want to go in USA, Europe, Russia, and the Middle East, and it's free. And all you have to do is hit that one time. So these guys are just doing some incredible things. In closing, I want to say this. We weren't looking for anything this year. We had a completely different path that we were on. When this was introduced to us, there were too many things that were just made sense, that were just unexplainable. I knew where this company was going to go. Right away, when I looked at this technology, I looked at the demographic of who needs this product, the trends, I knew where this was going to go. And what I can tell you is that although we got involved in February, we've been involved in this pioneering stage where we've been getting everything ready. We've been getting our customer service ready, our logistics ready, everything set up. We're just now launching next month. So don't think that you're too late, you guys. In fact, you have an opportunity to get involved in the beginning stages of a company that's going to go on and do billions of dollars in revenue. And you'll be able to say something to yourself, one of two things to yourself 2 years or a year from now. You're going to be able to say, listen, I remember when World Global was just launching. I remember hearing about that helo, and I was invited to a meeting where I had a chance to be a founding member in that company. And either A, I chose to take action. I got involved. I got plugged in. I went to that launch event in October, and as a result of that, a year later, my life has completely changed. And for the first time in my life, I can see how potentially over the next couple of years, we'll have enough residual income coming in that we can do the things that we want to do rather than what we have to do. Or you can say to yourself, man, I remember when I had a chance to see that helo. Now it's everywhere. I see it on all my friends' wrists. and I chose not to take action. Guys, the choice is yours, but I can tell you this, we are all in. Like, we are all in with this opportunity. I'd love to know who's on the presentation tonight, who is also all in with us. We know where this company is going. We've never been more excited. We've never had results like this before. And I can tell you that if we can do this, you can too. You know, Summer and I started 10 years ago knowing nothing about this industry. And today we own our own lifestyle as a result of it. So with that, I invite all of you guys to come join us. Come be a world changer with us. I promise you, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a great journey. And with that, I want to say thank you for everybody that listened in. And for those of you that are on the line tonight, I'm actually going to be hosting a training here coming up in about 45 minutes for all of our current promoters, where I'm going to be talking about the details. I'm going to be talking about the system. I'm going to be talking about those little things that really make all the difference in your business. So come on back at 7:30 tonight, Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern. And with that, you guys take care. We'll see you again soon. Again, my name is Travis Flaherty, and I'm a world changer. You guys take care.